Here's a bold statement. The rescheduled Syracuse basketball game against St. Joseph's is far from ideal, and it's sparking conversations among fans and analysts alike. But here's where it gets controversial. While the change might seem minor, it could have significant implications for the Orange's postseason prospects. Let's break it down. On Thursday afternoon, Syracuse basketball announced a reshuffled non-conference matchup against Atlantic 10 conference member St. Joseph's. Originally, these two teams were set to face off in the electrifying atmosphere of Las Vegas. Now the game will take place at the JMA Wireless Dome on Thursday, December 11, according to a release shared by a Syracuse basketball spokesperson. And this is the part most people miss. A neutral site game, like the one initially planned, often carries more weight in the eyes of the NCAA Tournament Selection Committee. Why? Because neutral site wins are typically categorized in higher quadrants of the NCAA net rankings, which can boost a team's postseason resume. The shift from Las Vegas to Syracuse's home court wasn't just a random decision. It's tied to a larger shakeup involving St. Joseph's. About 2 weeks ago, the Hawks announced that Steve Donahue would take over as head coach after Billy Lang moved to a front office role with the NBA's New York Knicks. This coaching change led to St. Joseph's withdrawing from the late November NIL-driven Players Era Festival. While the Syracuse-St. Joseph's game wasn't officially part of the festival, it was affiliated with its organizers, as I learned earlier this month. College basketball insider John Rothstein of CBS Sports hinted at this development on September 19th, reporting via X that Syracuse and St. Joseph's were finalizing an agreement to play at the Dome. Meanwhile, at the Players Era Festival, Syracuse stands to earn at least $1 million in NIL payments and will face powerhouse teams like Houston and Kansas, with one additional opponent yet to be determined based on the event's outcomes. Here's the controversial question. Is Syracuse sacrificing a potential resume-boosting win by moving the game to their home court? While playing at the Dome gives the Orange a familiar advantage, it might not carry the same weight as a neutral site victory. On the flip side, the financial benefits and high-profile matchups in Las Vegas could still make this a worthwhile trade-off. What do you think? Is this move a strategic misstep or a necessary adjustment? Looking ahead, Syracuse's 2025-26 season is packed with 13 non-conference games and 18 Atlantic Coast Conference contests. The non-conference schedule includes 9 home games and 4 neutral site matchups, offering a mix of challenges and opportunities. Here's the full lineup. Monday, November 3rd, Syracuse versus Binghamton at the JMA Wireless Dome. Saturday, November the 8th, Syracuse versus Delaware State at the JMA Wireless Dome. Saturday, November 15th, Syracuse versus Drexel in Philadelphia, Autumn Invitational. Tuesday, November the 18th, Syracuse versus Monmouth at the JMA Wireless Dome. Monday, November 24th, Syracuse versus Houston in Las Vegas, Players Era Festival. Tuesday, November the 25th, Syracuse versus Kansas in Las Vegas, Players Era Festival. Wednesday, November the 25th. 26 or Thursday, November the 27th, Syracuse versus TBD in Las Vegas, Players Era Festival. Tuesday, December the 2nd, Syracuse versus Tennessee at the JMA Wireless Dome, ACC-SEC Challenge. Thursday, December the 11th, Syracuse versus St. Joseph's at the JMA Wireless Dome. Saturday, December the 13th, Syracuse versus Hofstra at the JMA Wireless Dome. Wednesday, December the 17th, Syracuse versus Mercyhurst at the JMA Wireless Dome. Saturday, December the 20th, Syracuse versus Northeastern at the JMA Wireless Dome. Monday, December the 22nd. Syracuse, what's your take? Does this change hurt Syracuse's postseason chances, or is it a minor adjustment in a bigger picture? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments.